Yo guys, welcome to the last lap. Don't forget to drop a lovely, juicy 5-star rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. We've also got to talk about a certain. If we turn the tables back to 2008, what's Felipe Massa playing at?
Oh yeah.
What's he playing at?
He wants his title.
What's he playing at?
Yeah. So what? So obviously.
Do you want to explain, Niran, what's going on?
Yeah. So I think there's revelations that the FIA kind of knew what was going down with Crashgate before the end of the season,
Which was when Nelson Piquet Jr. crashed on purpose.
Yeah, at Singapore to earn Fernando Alonso a win and
to appease the
By the way,
sponsors.
just off topic, I love when that stat keeps popping up because F1 keeps doing these like, oh, how far back has someone won? And Fernando Alonso is always like in second place because he won that race in like 15th place.
Yeah.
And then all of the comments are just like about that race. I love it.
Because he kept the win, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Pitted,
Yeah.
what, lap 15, whatever it was.
Legitimate in my book.
And then PK. What, I get his comments from Bernie, and Bernie says a lot of things, that's the problem. And two of the people who knew the most, Mosley and Whiting, they're both no longer with us, so they can't, extrapolate on what actually
happened,
was known and what wasn't known, because apparently Mosley's quite, I think in his autobiography saying that Whiting had made him aware of rumours before the end of the season, but obviously if they're just rumours and you can't...
And also keep in mind, like, yeah, they kind of knew about the rumors beforehand, but in Formula One, like there's got to be a fair, like, almost trial process, because that's what happened in 2009. Like, they took evidence from the team, they did their judgment, and then they found out that they did, fix that race. So you couldn't have sorted that before 2008. So it's one of those weird things that's just come up out of nowhere. The fact that Felipe Massa just gone, yeah, I'll sue them now. Maybe we'll see what's up. He has said that it's not for like monetary. He's not trying to get money out of it.
Yeah.
And then everyone's now, Lewis is like a 6-time world champion, and some people are going, well, surely they should just be disqualified. What does that have to do with Lewis? So it's just this weird kind of thing that's come about of nowhere. I mean, just years later, which is just a bit odd.
yeah. But the thing is, like, because if you go down the whole route of like, oh yeah, Felipe should have won the title, then there was other things like during that season that like held Lewis back. For example, you could go, oh, Lewis shouldn't have got that penalty. Was it Belgium?
Yeah.
With Raikkonen.
Yeah, that was really
and it's
soft.
like, well,
really
so where'd you draw the line? Like, we could just
Yeah,
go forever,
exactly.
like, sort of.
And also,
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm right. Wasn't it that race, Singapore 2008, where Felipe was like refueling and then Ferrari
Yes.
like botched the pit stop and it was
Well,
like
that's
a
the whole
massive
reason.
fuel fire?
That's the whole
Yeah.
Felipe probably should have won that race.
Yeah.
And then the lights were faulty, so the lights told him to go out when the fuel hose was still attached.
Yeah.
Now, look, that's a team like that. These things happen. Like
It's
Ferrari
as well,
Ferrari.
so we
Exactly.
have to-
The heritage of Ferrari.
15
We
years
never have it
ago.
all,
15 years and it's the same shit. Like, and that's the thing, right? You could, I think the fairest way would be to disqualify the Renaults because, they were the ones culpable. Yes, you can say, well, that had changed everyone else's race, but that wasn't even the last race of the season. There was still, I think, at least 2 rounds after that.
Yeah, because the argument would then be, okay, you disqualify even if even if somehow this was like right to disqualify the Renaults, then you'd move everyone up in the points in that race.
Yeah, and Lewis would have won by even more.
Yeah, exactly. I think
He'd
yeah,
have
I
won by
think he would
3
have.
points instead of 1.
Exactly. So it's one of the weird.
yeah.
Yeah, people would just want to disqualify that
cherry
entire
picking.
race. 'Cause It's exactly.
That
It's
doesn't
whatever-
make any sense. Like,
Exactly.
disqualifying, taking the whole race result away just makes no sense.
But also,
it
like,
still happened.
let's just say they did it, right? Let's just say they gave, not only does that open a precedent for, what about like Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher, 94, whenever that was.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Jacques Villeneuve, like there's so many examples where,
Everyone's just going to start suing everyone.
like to overturning, like you
Make
can't-
Prost the 5-time world champion now.
Sometimes you just have to like take it for what it is. Because also, like, if they gave it to Felipe, like, I don't know, would it like, surely it just, I don't know,
I
wouldn't
mean,
it
they'd
feel a bit
never do it.
empty?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the problem is
yeah,
it would bring
it'd be
your
hollow.
own sport into disrepute. It'd be like, it would make a joke out of the sport anyway. So it's just one of those, he clearly sees a
I get
legal
why
avenue
he's
to try
frustrated.
it.
I completely understand.
He wants to
of
make a
course.
point, that's why.
But these things happen, like the Thierry Henry handball against Ireland. I always bring that one up. 'cause
That's more of a.
That was egregious.
If I was Ireland right now, I would sue for that. I would see this whole thing.
And also
do it.
making comparisons like Abu Dhabi 21. Well, Abu Dhabi 21, that was nothing to do with the drivers. That was a stewarding, refereeing decision.
Sue Michael Massey. Everyone sue everyone. That's it.
He signed apparently the rumors is he signed a non-disclosure. So he's
did,
actually
yeah.
literally legally not allowed to talk about Abu Dhabi 2021.
Wonder if
Really?
there's a-
No
wonder if
joke,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
time timestamp on that. We'll get the autobiography one day.
exactly.
I'll buy it.
We're getting him on the show.
Mate,
Statute of limitations on that
easy
NDA.
money for Michael. Once
We're
that NDA.
getting him on the last lap, and he will talk about it. I will ensure that he talks about it.
We'll make him. We'll lull him into a full sense of security.
Like, oh,
That's got to be a big bag for him to come through, though.
It's all right, Michael. We're just going to talk about boom Abu Dhabi 2021. No.
We'll get Minton to kind of soften him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good boy, yeah. Look at him. He's just sounder. You wouldn't even know.
Always
Was
hearing
it?
about Grand Prix. It's just like tell him a story about Abu
exactly.
Dhabi 2021, and then he'll just tell the whole story to Minton.
He was there as well, obviously in Australia. So that was quite. There was, to be fair, there was some really lame people that literally like went on with their phones, like with like a selfie and asked him about it, like to his face, which was like I was watching, I was cringing so
I hate
much.
people do. Have you heard that? Like people have been turning up at Charles' house.
Yeah,
Like,
really
yeah.
well. Absolutely
Like
mental.
some people just piss me off, man. Like, what is wrong with you?
Like, kind of for
were you
people
not,
that don't know,
were
actually.
you not brought up with like
Manners.
values?
Yeah, manners.
For
and
people that
stuff.
don't know, basically he put out a story saying that obviously somehow his address got leaked, which I mean, Monaco is literally like the second smallest country in the world, so and he's obviously a prominent figure. So his address got leaked, and apparently there's like fans, in air quotes, like basically were like ringing his door, asking him for like pictures and autographs, which is just to me that is unbelievable. Like, go and touch some grass outside of Monaco. Do you know what I mean? Because
Not his front garden.
That has nothing. The thing is, loads of people. Do you know what? Loads of people. Obviously, you had like the entire Twitter saying, "Oh, that's DTS fans," stuff like that. But that has nothing to do with the sport. That's not even a sport thing. That is just a personal thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want someone turning up, to my mum's flat's door. I don't know Monaco, unfortunately, but to get my picture. But like that, could you imagine that happening at your door like that? It would be just crazy.
It's just like the biggest possible breach of privacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it is literally where.
That's your safe space.
Yeah, it's your safe space. Like I think, and then people. But I
I think it's
know
borderline stalking, by the way, as well.
Yeah, it is,
Like,
no, it is literally stalking. Like, and people who have been to his house to go and get a picture will then go, "Oh, you don't care about your fans." No, you must be sick, bruv. You must be out of your mind. I know that's the reaction of certain people.
You didn't let me into your house, and you didn't let me in to
What are
get
you
a
talking
picture.
about? It's his house. Go to a fucking Grand Prix and get a picture with him or saying. What are you talking about?
And also, Charles, what makes it even worse is loads of people know, like, Charles is one of the best with fans. He
Yeah.
always
He's
gives his
amazing,
time
yeah,
to
yeah.
Grand Prix. He always takes a picture. Like, he's absolute content. I love Charles. So it's just one of those frustrating things. And obviously, it's people need to separate the whole Formula One thing. This is pure like harassment and stalking from like, again, fans who are just mental.
Well, this is like,
don't go to people's house. Actually, well, no, you might have been invited. Don't go to people's houses unless you've been invited.
obviously. You wouldn't think you'd need to make that clear.
Yeah. Realistically, that shouldn't be.
Because yes, these drivers have very incredibly privileged lifestyles, right? They multimillionaires, they live in Monaco, blah blah blah, right? But if anything, like that makes the privacy of your own home even more important.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get spotted all the time. He's Charles Leclerc walking around Monaco. He's like the home.
I mean, he
hometown
drives in a
hero.
one-of-one like Ferrari pista around Monaco.
and
Like, people are
chases
gonna-
people who steal his watches as
Yeah,
well.
that was
you see
pretty
that?
nuts. Yeah, yeah.
Did you not see that?
What's this?
Oh, it's
Go on now,
crazy.
Dad.
So there was so this was last year. I think he had a watch stolen or something like that. And there's CCTV footage that's only emerged now for some reason.
He liked it because the Monaco local police I think shared it on Twitter and he liked it.
And it's pictures of him like racing in his pista, like chasing the people. I think like who stole his watch.
Or like trying to find them. He's
Yeah,
like,
trying to find them. It was just crazy. I mean, I was like, what is going on here?
Did you get it back?
No, definitely not. I mean,
what? I'm not being funny. What would he have done if he'd actually have?
Charles is not a fighter, mate.
Charles is not,
He's
no.
he's
can't
not got that
imagine.
He's
dog
not
in him.
thrown upon.
I can't imagine him scrapping.
He's a great driver, but he's not got that dog in him in a fist of his fight.
Who's got the best scrap on him?
I was literally about
outside
to
the
ask
club?
this
Lewis is a black
Who-
belt. I mean, so
Oh, really?
Lewis
Yeah.
would fuck you up. Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
He would.
Okay. That's
The thing is, do you know what? I
I feel
take
like
my.
Lewis has every skill imaginable.
It's
Like, just-
unreal.
But
like,
Lewis
I
is
don't
very
know.
measured, so I don't think it'd get to that stage.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
self-defense, he'd fuck you up, but I don't think.
I mean, he's got
Yeah,
a peace
true.
sign on his merch. Like, you can't, how you don't see
yeah.
through. Do you know what? I'll take my chances on Ocon because he might be 6 foot,
Range.
7'5",
Range, yeah.
but he is. I mean, I could dodge him easy.
Max Verstappen was a bold man to start fighting him in Brazil.
Yeah.
He's massive.
Alonso's got samurai on his back, so I'm not messing with that.
Oh yeah, Fernando. And Fernando's neck as well. I mean, Fernando's neck's got its own.
Have you seen that picture? There was like in 2021 when he was like coming back. There's that picture that everyone like I think has seen of him like working out, and his neck is just like bulging out.
You would actually punch him, and his just head just wouldn't move because his neck is just so stable. It's like a tree trunk.
Yeah.
It's just like no movement at all.
These people, they just drive in circles. Nah, you've got to be an athlete now. You've got to be like on it. Like,
I mean, we saw Nick De Vries. He couldn't even get out. He did.
Yeah.
I mean, and Nick De Vries is one of the most experienced kind of drivers. Or last year he'd driven so many different so many different racing series, so many different cars. He had one race in Formula One, that Williams, race in Monza. He couldn't even get out of the car. He couldn't get out of the car by the end. Like, that's how shattered he was. So I don't think people realize you need to go even karting for half an hour, you would be dead.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm just imagining George Russell in a fight.
Oh nah. He'd break it up. You got that mate who
he'd
always
break
breaks
it.
up the fights.
Calm it down, lads. Calm it down.
Yeah. You need George Russell there
Crikey, mate.
to stop you putting yourself in jail for the night.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
You need that
Walking.
friend.
Crikey, lad. Violence is not the way. That's what I'd imagine he'd say.
Yeah.
He'd say blimey, call
Yeah.
blimey. And
Call blimey.
All
Well,
it is.